Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, my friends. This is Kevin once again, bringing to you the series of explanations of the poems, the chapters in the NCERT syllabus. We at Personal Tutors have been going ahead and providing online solutions, videos, YouTube shared playlists on various statuses, that is 12th standard, 11th standard, 10th standard, and in the series we are looking forward to complete the 9th standard. The poem that I am going to explain today is a famous poem by William Wordsworth with the name that Slumber did my spirit seal. A slumber did my spirit seal is one of the ballads that is famously known as Lucy poems by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, my friend, lived around mid-16th century to 17th century. This poem was written in 1798. Can you believe it? It's like almost 400 years ago, my friends. Like, this was the poem written by William Wordsworth, the only poem where he did not mention the name Lucy. William Wordsworth was a famous poet who usually wrote ballads under the name of Lucy. Quite a number of critics have gone ahead and provided their theories about who this girl Lucy was. It would have been his sister, it would have been his lover, it would have been his mother, his daughter. There are many speculations, my friends. I leave it on you. It's in the year 1780s that William Wordsworth usually traveled to Germany with his sister and a colleague. The precise year was somewhere around 1795 to 1799. He wrote this poem. This poem is about a lament. William Wordsworth, along with his friend, they used to write poems about the death of young girls. In the series, A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal again goes ahead and gives us a lament about a death of a young girl. It's the shortest poem written by William Wordsworth, just 2 stanzas, 4 lines each, and I'm going to explain you stanza-wise the structure of the poem now. The poem goes, a slumber did my spirit seal, I had no human fears, she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly fears. Now, a slumber. My friends, slumber is a state that exactly comes before the notion of sleeping. You know, yearning for sleep, trying to sleep. In that state, the poet depicts that a slumber is a half alive, half dead process where people usually are unaware about the happenings around their lives, the world around, turning, churning, changing around. That is the thing that he dives over here. The next line is, I had no human fears. That means, in the slumber, he actually did not have any fear that was supposed to be encountering him while he was awakened. Slumber is a thing that usually does not affect anyone, that usually people feel as a state of lovely oneness. She seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years. Here he comes again to Lucy. She seemed a thing that did not feel. Now Lucy, according to the poet here, is somebody who couldn't feel the earthly years, that means the touch of earthly years. He depicts here, there are quite speculated maneuvers that many critics have gone ahead. What I feel is, according to the book and the knowledge, is that Lucy is a person that poet has seen so very beautiful that he has never seen her christened by the ages. He has never seen her turning into a ripening old age. Thus he goes ahead and says in the fourth line that the touch of earthly years, that means the years pass on and on and on, yet the protagonist Lucy is not affected by any of the changes and the years that are coming ahead. The poet depicts here that Lucy is so beautiful a girl that she has never shown a sign of getting older. In the first stanza, the poet is depicting the glorified image of this young girl, Lucy, although he has not mentioned the name for the first time ever here. Yet the speculations are attached because it is a ballad, yet it's a lament as well, my friends. Here, the second stanza starts, and it's a sudden change of situations, my friends. The second stanza over here opens with a shocking line, that is, no motion she has now, no force. Pretty sad. The poet here clearly shows what power and magnificence young girls have in them. The second stanza opens with a shocking revelation that no motion she has now, no force. That means she's not having any motion in the body. She's not having any energy. She lies there lifeless, thus revealing that she has passed away. She has died, my friends. She neither hears nor sees. She can neither hear any of the nature's sound, nor can she go ahead and witness any of the beauties of the nature around her. Rolled round in earth's tumult course, the earth's tumult course, my friends, it is the course of life. You take birth, you grow up, you grow old, and once again, death overcomes you. It's the eternal soul that keeps on affecting us, and our soul gets reflected into that. So that's called the circle. And it's the earth's tumult course. The course of earth is, if you have taken birth, you shall be once be perished, you shall be buried down, you shall be cremated, as per the cultures, with rocks and stones and trees. This clearly depicts that now Lucy has passed away. She does not have any power, any force. She cannot hear to the sounds of the nature. She cannot see the beauty of nature or enjoy it. She has once again entered into the tumult force of earth, that is the chakra of life, and now she lays down buried within rocks and stones and trees around her. The rocks here and the stones here, the rocks are the underground rocks in which she's buried, and the stone can be depicted as the tombstones usually held at the tombs. This poem here depicts a clear vision of William's Wordsworth about the beauty of a person in living, encasing the joy of life, yet shockingly, in the second stanza, it turns out to be a grief and shrieking lament. Although these 4 lines are too short to be understood, yet the phenomenal definition that we can get out of it is a strong feeling of William Wordsworth missing someone. As I said, there have been speculations about this. There have been a lot of analysis and critics trying to find out who this girl Lucy was, on which William Wordsworth has written almost 170 poems, ballads basically, my friends, out of which the only one, that is a slumber, did my spirit seal, does not have her name. So this was the explanation of the chapter. Let's have a look at the question and answer, so we'll get a better view of the chapter as well. A slumber did my spirit seal, says the poet, that is a deep sleep closed off his soul. How does the poet react to his loved one's death? Did he feel bitter grief, or does he feel great peace? Although anyone's loved one when passes away does not give a good notion. Anybody passing away, anybody encountering the death, my friends, does not give us happiness. It gives us a state of grief, but the period of mourning that follows is usually the outcoming of the family members or the near ones or the loved ones from the grief of the loss. Here, although the poet here is lamenting, he does not show any grief in all the lines, but in the last line of the poem, there is a bitter grief entering. It really shows the depth of the lament that Wordsworth felt while writing this poem. It is what he tries to explain. Although it's an 8-line poem, my friends, yet there have been speculations, there have been documentaries, there have been novels written about these 8 lines by quite a number of critics. There have been letters between famous poets about who was Lucy and how come Wordsworth got a slumber and the feeling of writing almost a centurion poematic epilogue of so much, importance about the person named as Lucy. Thus comes out the famous ballad of Lucy poems. The next question here is, the passing of time will no longer affect her, says the poet. Which lines of the poem say these? The lines of the poem is that she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years. The explanation to these lines is, as the time passes, my friends, we grow young, we grow into men and women, and later on we grow old. But on the contrary, here, Lucy is unaffected by earthly years. That means the earthly years. The poet here is trying to conjure Lucy with a heavenly creature. That means she's not affected by the earthly years, the passing time that would rather go ahead and make her grow old. As I said, he has never seen Lucy into a genre of getting older. He has always seen her young and beautiful. How does the poet imagine her to be after death? Does he think of her as a person living in a very happy state, or does he see her now as part of nature? In which lines of the poet do you find this? The poet's imagination, although do not allow him to forget Lucy, he says that Lucy seems to be in a happy state. She cannot go ahead and see the nature around, she cannot see the sound, she cannot get disturbed by things. She's just lying down in a beautiful state of sleep that is not affecting her by any of the changes. Although the poet feels sad in this state, yet he tries to reconcile himself by saying that she is a body that seems to be at peace now. Yet the last line shows the bitter grief. That's a bit different. This comes in the second stanza, my friend. So these were the question and answers of this beautifully written ballad by Wordsworth from 9th class book Beehive of the NCERT syllabus. If you have any questions, suggestions, please do comment us, my friends, and we would be glad to reply you back. If you want to know something about personal tutors, our channel, just press the button about us. I would request you to subscribe to our channel as well, as we have been receiving overwhelming response and quite a few numerous subscriptions in recent weeks. So thank you for supporting us, my friends. If you want the data online, we can provide it online. If you want it on pen drive, feel free to contact us anytime. Thanking you once again for joining this session with me. It's Kevin Lopez.